G'day and welcome to the Grow a Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Trewin. Each week, we speak with an owner who has grown a business with 5 to 30 team members to something bigger. Diving into their numbers and unearthing the pain they've experienced, we explore what they did to overcome each barrier and what they would do differently from day one. Let's get into it.
Welcome everyone. Today I'm interviewing Blima Ehrentreu from the designer group based in New York, United States. Thanks for your time today, Blima.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Let's start with how we know each other. Yugantha from your EA on your team reached out a few months ago, thought you'd be a great guest for us.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that she's doing a good job.
Tell our audience a bit about your business, what it does and how it makes money.
We're an interior design firm, and we're all about adding value to interiors and giving people the best possible experience in their spaces.
Yeah, I had a look at your website. Really impressive work there. Are there particular in like areas geographically or types of interior design that you focus on?
We work out of 3 locations, Toronto, New York, and Miami, but we're working on projects throughout the US and Canada. And what we really look for when taking on a project is a space where we can make an impact. So it can be any type of commercial space. We'll work on residential developments and buildings. We're doing a lot of healthcare and senior living, as well as institutional, like schools and event spaces and community centers.
Yeah, great. And how did you start out?
I started out going to school, got a master's in interior architecture and design. And then a designer in Toronto actually approached me about partnering up and starting to work together. And what began as 2 women working together on a couple of residential projects really grew into something that both of us did not imagine. I ended up moving to New York, opened an office here, which is where I am right now, and then continuing on to Miami, opening another location there. So it's been an incredible journey, and I feel so lucky that I get to do something that I love every single day.
Yeah, architecture and interior design sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm colorblind and have no style, but it sounds like a really fun business to have.
I always wonder with being colorblind, like what colors you're really seeing, just because what my brain registers as one color might not be the color that someone else sees. And then taking it a step further to being colorblind, like what is it that you're actually seeing?
Yeah, my 11-year-old daughter is always correcting me when we're coloring in. So it's green and brown, orange and red, purple and blue. The way they found out I was colorblind is grade 7. I started when I was painting trees with green trunks and brown leaves. And then
Oh, no way.
went and got tested. My brother and I got tested, and they put the little color cards up with the dots on them, see if you can see a number or a character behind them. And thankfully, my younger brother is slightly more colorblind than me, so I won that one. And what year did you start the business, and how old were you?
So I started the business in 2011. And how old was I? Let me calculate that. So I was in my 20s, and yeah, we're at 2024 now.
That's great. And do you have some key numbers you can share to illustrate the growth of the business?
So it's interesting that you asked that, because I have 2 sisters that are accountants, but I'm very much not a numbers person. We do use numbers like when we're measuring spaces and calculating clearances, but when it comes to the money side of the business, that's really not my forte. I just want to make sure that we're doing projects that we love and making a difference. And I have other people really making sure that our numbers are lining up and that we're reaching our goals.
And what about number of full-time equivalents you started with? I assume you and your business partner, so it was 2 of you, and where are you at now?
Yeah, so we started just the 2 of us, no employees. We were doing everything, and now we're at over 30. So it's really incredible to be able to surround yourself with amazing people who are able to do an even better job than you in certain ways. And also all of us as a team are really able to empower each other and come up with extraordinary designs because we all come with our own backgrounds, our own experiences, our own cultures, different countries, different religions. So it's been really incredible to see how everyone's diverse experiences really contribute to the way they see things, as well as to the way they experience them.
That's terrific growth over the last 14 years, getting up to over 30 team members. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
When was the moment you felt like you had succeeded?
Do we ever feel that? But I definitely always feel so fulfilled and have this incredible feeling when I see people using the spaces that we design and really seeing the impact of the work that we do. So, for example, we work on a lot of healthcare spaces. So seeing people being able to recover as well as rehabilitate in an environment that's conducive to their growth and their improvement. I mean, it's transformative, as well as we've been working on a lot of educational projects recently and seeing how the children respond and the students are able to really improve their concentration and their productivity has been incredible. And both the faculty and the parents who know me have all told me what a difference the design makes. And we're also quite active in the senior living space, which is also something so rewarding to be able to see people who have lived their whole lives, contributed to society, and now they're winding down, and for them to be in beautiful spaces that encourage them to be active and social and really live the end of their life in the best possible way is something that I'm very passionate about being involved in. And I feel very grateful that I have those opportunities.
And what does success look like to you?
To me, success is reaching goals, and those goals are always for the betterment of the world around us. And that kind of brings me back to the motto of our firm, which is designing with purpose, creating a better world. So in whatever way we can do that, and I think that that starts with design, because that's what we are. That's who we are as a brand, designers. And using our firm as a platform to take that a step further and be able to give back and launch several charitable initiatives through the firm has been something that has been very life-changing for me and for everyone on our team, seeing that not only is our work life-changing, but also our ability to be able to use that to give back in so many different ways.
Number one thing you'd recommend to marketing a fast-growing business?
So I believe that that's a multifaceted question and that there's many ways to approach that. From a design firm's perspective, we're all about relationships, and we're all about the difference that our designs make for the people who will be using it. So for us, our number one marketing tool is doing a great job and making sure that any project that we take on, we're doing well, we're doing properly, and we're reaching our goals. Anyone who walks into the space can see exactly what we do and can appreciate the value that we bring. So that's number one for us as a design firm. But we don't really use traditional marketing channels per se, whereas we are on all social media platforms, but we don't advertise because we believe that design is a personal experience that people have, and those relationships have to be built over time. So that's our approach, but there really are so many ways to market yourself. But I do believe that in any industry, really understanding the value that you offer and being able to follow through on that and offer it, that's your best marketing tool.
So you get a lot of work through referrals, word of mouth?
Basically, yeah. I would say that's our number one referral method, as well as we work with a lot of owners, operators, and developers, and typically they do have repeat projects. And we make sure that we do a good job, not only because we want them to give us their next project because we really care about the spaces that we're working on and that we're designing. But it does go hand in hand, whereas we do a good job, they want us to work on their next project.
How did you fund your business?
Since it's a service-based industry, when we started, there wasn't that much funding required. As we continued to grow, we did need some funding, which I was able to generate based off of our profits and put that money back into the business. So I've really been conservative in our growth in terms of only growing when we had the capital to do so, and really using our finances from our profits as a way to continue to scale up.
That's great. So no other investors, just you and your business partner?
Correct.
Yeah, fantastic. If you were to start up today with plenty of funding, would you go into your industry?
That's a really interesting question. I always wonder, as technology continues to evolve and as designs get more innovative, would that have been a space that I would want to be in? And I can unequivocally say 100%. We are at the forefront of technology. We continue to explore the best ways that we can design and continue to offer our clients the best possible solutions. And I love what we do. Every space is a challenge, but a good challenge, because that challenges us to think outside of the box and to come up with even better ideas and even better ways to use the space and continue to empower our clients to deliver their vision for their spaces through our designs.
Can you outline the most stressful point in your small business growth journey so our audience can learn from it?
I don't know what you're talking about when you say stressful. We don't have stress in our job.
Yeah.
But for us, I look at it as challenges. And like I said before, challenges are really what propels our growth. One major challenge that we had as a firm was opening up new locations in spaces that we were not before. So when we opened the office in New York, that was a location that I hadn't lived in before. So I moved there and had to learn the industry as well as the market, the different materials and code issues that are applicable in New York and possibly not in Canada. So there was that learning curve, but I do believe, like I said before, that if you understand your service offering and what you're doing, as well as having the know-how to execute, then that's really all you need. So I took the time to learn about the industry, to study what the projects were like in this area. And one thing led to another. Got one project, did an incredible job on it together with my team, and continue to grow from there. And I see that as well as the different industries that we get involved in, because originally when I started as a designer, I was doing people's homes. And then as we continued to grow and scale, we moved away from that completely and will only do larger scale residential projects or commercial projects. So we're not even in the private home market at all. So it's just interesting to see that growth and to see how we've really scaled up as a firm.
What area in business do you feel you've had to work on the most to add the greatest value?
Delegating is something that I always had a hard time with, but also knew that it was something that I had to do if we wanted to grow. Sometimes, or most of the time, actually, it's just so much easier to do something yourself. By the time you're finished explaining how to do it and to get it done in a way that you're happy with, it's just faster to do it yourself. And that's something that I really struggled with at the beginning, because I just wanted to get it done. But I realized that if we wanted to grow and if I wanted to have a team around me that could support me and the projects that we're working on, then we all have to collaborate together. And we have to be able to share our knowledge as well as really take the time to guide the people that we want in our circle to be able to help us and to be able to support us, as well as ultimately do it for us. So that was definitely something that took time. But I will say that the longer designers are with me, the more they know how I think, and they could give the answers for me already.
What have you enjoyed the least about managing fast growth?
Finances, that would definitely be something that I do not enjoy. Obviously, I understand owning a business, that is key to growth, but it's something that I don't enjoy looking at our outstanding invoices or at projects that are taking longer than they're supposed to. So we have to figure out a way to make those numbers work. I mean, anything when it comes to numbers just gets me not in that space that I want to be, because I love the creative side. And that's something that I really enjoy. So figuring out numbers is not something that I'm passionate about.
What do you love most about growing a small business?
As a designer, I love creating. And that's really something that I've enjoyed on the business side of the designers group, is really creating our firm, understanding what our market is, delivering on who we are as a brand, and even creating that brand. That was something that we did as a creative team. We came up with our own logo, we built our own website. And while that's not something that we typically do, we did start offering branding to our clients because we understood that part of the interiors experience comes along with any branding that the space might need. So one thing really works with the other, but for me, it really is about creating and making the world a better place. So I would say that starting any of our nonprofits has been something so rewarding for me, and something that gets me excited every time I'm working on them. And really anything in when it comes to creativity, creating, all of that is something that I love so much. And I'm so grateful that I get to do it every day.
What has been the biggest mindset shift for you in your small business growth journey?
That we can do it. I remember when we started, people would ask me, are you able to do this? Is this something that you're comfortable doing? And I would always answer them, I'm not so sure. Let me look into it. Let me figure it out. Let me see. And then one day I was having a conversation with my father, and he said, your mindset should be that you can do it. And then you'll figure it out. You will put the right people into place, because you cannot say you can do something if you can't. So you have to make sure that you will be able to. But if you change your mindset and you believe that you can, then you will be able to. And that was such a shift for me, because ultimately I was giving the same answers. I would still tell them, like, let me see, let me get back to you. But in my mind, I was already telling myself, of course we can do this. And that was such a different approach to looking at the same issue. And I believe that that's something that really helped us grow, because opening in Florida, of course we can. Taking on projects in the West Coast, yes, of course. So anything that we're asked when it comes to making our clients' experiences better, yes, we can. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know when and how, and if it's possible for us, but I know that we can.
The number one habit you think a small business owner needs to develop and maintain?
Being adaptable. There are so many changing shifts and environments and financial situations, and situations come up always. And being able to go with the flow, look for solutions, have an open mindset and really take opportunities as they come is so, so important. And another one is learning from your mistakes. So not being afraid to move forward, but knowing that you might mess up, but that you'll learn from it. And that every situation, there is growth there. So anytime, my team already knows this, that they can make mistakes, but it's important to learn from those mistakes and understand that they will happen. We have to take responsibility for them, but we're here to learn, all of us.
Are you a small business owner who is ready to take your professional growth to the next level? Sign up to the Grow a Small Business weekly newsletter. This is your go-to email every Friday and will take about 2 minutes to read. Join the Grow a Small Business community who, like you, are investing in their professional development. Each week, we curate valuable resources, whether it's expert advice, books, podcasts, industry insights, or actionable strategies. We've got you covered. Leave your email at growasmallbusiness.com/weekly.
Now, you've got over 30 team members now, which is a great size. Can you talk to how you've added people to the team, some wins, mistakes, and advice for those listening?
Anyone who knows my team knows that we're a very diverse group of people. And I'm always asked the question, how do you have such a diverse team? Do you have a DEI manager or officer? And I always say that we look for talent. We're designers. We want people who are passionate about the industry, want to make the world a better place, and have talent. And that's what we look for. And because of that, our team is so diverse. And we're so lucky because we all get to learn from each other. We all get to enjoy each other's different experiences. And it's been so rewarding to see that with a great team, 1 + 1 is really not 2. It's exponentially better. And even though I said I don't like math, I do understand that 1 + 1 really is 2. But when I look at our team working together, everyone together is exponentially better.
So what about any hiring mistakes? Any advice around hiring from your experience?
Listen, we're all human. There have definitely been people that we've had in the team that were just not the right fit, either on their side or on our side. And what we do now when we hire is people come in for a trial if they'll be working in the office so that they can see what the office is like. I want them to understand who the designers group is and what they're getting into when they're starting to work with us. But at the same time, that gives the team the opportunity to see what they're like and if they believe that this new person would be a good addition. So it really works both ways. And with this structure, we've really had a lot of good situations when it came to hiring because of it, because we were all on the same page. But like I said, we're human, been around for enough time that we've definitely had some hiring mistakes for sure.
What are some of the things you recommend to building a sustainable and kick-ass culture to help with the growth?
Positive reinforcement. We have the best environment at work. Everyone is collaborative, wants to help each other out. And if I see people working together, that's rewarded. Someone coming up with an idea on their own, that's great. But I love to see people helping each other out, supporting each other. And we have the TDG Star of the Week, where every week everyone submits, or we do it every other week. Everyone submits something nice about one person that they're nominating. And we read it out loud and everyone gets to hear. And the winner gets an Amazon gift card. But it's just a great way for everyone to hear nice things about their peers and to realize that it's not all about the work that people do, but it's how they're supporting each other. That really goes a long way. And that's really what we want to celebrate and that we want to mention.
Tell our audience how you've handled balance.
Well, you're talking to someone who loves what they do. So I don't believe that I'm ever working, but it is important to have personal time as well as time to pursue the things that you love, which again, go back to that I do love what I'm doing, which is so incredible. But I like to make time for ways that inspire my work, which is traveling, staying active. I love to swim, and I actually swim in the bay where I'm surrounded by nature. I see the sky, I see the trees. It's beautiful. That inspires me. I love playing pickleball. It's fun, it's active. You're playing with other people. So just staying active, staying social, continuing to travel and learn. I mean, what I pick up when I travel is there's just no other way to describe it, but completely eye-opening, where I see how different cultures live, how different climates and different countries, what they stand for, what they're about. And there's so much to learn from that. And since we're in the business of giving people incredible experiences, it's so important to understand how the environments that we're in have that impact. So by traveling, I'm really able to see and experience it.
And how much professional development have you invested in yourself?
I would say I try to learn something every day, but when you use the term professional development, I'm assuming you mean classes and courses.
Yeah, and books. Yeah.
Yeah, so I try to definitely spend time on that. I did recently do a business course with Goldman Sachs. They have the small business program, which was very, very interesting for me and really enlightening to go back to the basics when it comes to learning about a business, which I'm on the design side. I never had that formal business coaching or classes. So I love that. And then in general, I'm always speaking to different mentors who are in different industries, but I find it interesting to see the way they approach things and how we can adapt those principles in the way we work a project or our processes or how we communicate with each other as a team, as a company, as a firm. So these are all different things that I do. And obviously I love to read and scroll through Instagram and read all those empowering memes. So yeah, there's always something for sure.
So you've had mentors. Have you had any coaches along the way?
So no, I never had a business coach, but definitely I've had people who I was able to call at any time with business questions, but I never formally hired a coach.
Do you have a board of directors or advisors?
We do not. Not yet.
No. All right, Blima, we're on to our final 5 questions. What do you think is the hardest thing in growing a small business?
Continuing every single day to power through and continue that upward growth mindset. I know at the beginning it's exciting. I know at the beginning it's exciting. You're starting something new. But I remember when I started the firm, a couple months later, I had a meeting with a very large general contractor. And he said something to me that really stuck with me, that anyone can start a business. The question is, will you be around in 3 years? And I thought that was so smart because, yes, anyone can open the doors and say, I'm here. But the daily grind of continuing to get up every morning and keep that momentum growing and that growth mindset of always innovating and doing what you can to keep the business going, that's something that I always admire when I see people doing it.
Yeah, it's something like 90% of small businesses go under within the first 5 years. And then in the next 5 years, 90% of that 10% that survive go under.
Yeah.
Favorite business book which has helped you the most?
I read Sheryl Sandberg's book and I loved it. I'm actually blinking on the name. And I also read the Nike book, which I also found.
Shoe Dog, that's an amazing book.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Also, and what was so interesting to me about both of those books was I knew the impact of their companies before starting the book. So reading it, and I'm sure so many people are like me when they read the books, but we're looking for those signs from when they started. Like, how did they know they would get to that place? And what was it that they did to have that kind of impact with their companies?
Yeah, Phil Knight's book, it's about 13 hours long. I listened to it, but just an amazing journey of persistence. Obviously, starting in the 60s, it's a wonderful journey.
Yeah, and what was so interesting with him is he really took the influencer idea to the next level. That was, I believe, before it was even a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That was in the 70s, even before he got the likes of Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods on. There were a few athletes I had never heard of that they got into that effectively influencer marketing early on in the 70s. Mhm. Any great podcasts, online learning tools used for your own professional development?
I don't have one specific podcast that I listen to. I'll jump around or people send me podcasts, but I always enjoy hearing from different people what they're doing and how their journey has shaped them. I also just like listening to podcasts that talk about self-improvement because I think it's so important that as people, we also work on ourselves. So besides just working on the environments around us, but it's also so important to make sure that we're the best person that the people around us can be around.
One tool you'd recommend to help grow a small business?
Surround yourself with amazing people. That is key. If you have good people in your corner, you could do anything. But I believe that the way to get good people in your corner is to be a good person yourself. So if you're there to help others, people will want to help you. And I've seen that so many times with myself that I've always try to help people when I can. And I love doing that. And anytime I need something, there are so many people who are there for me. And it's just so incredibly rewarding because it's not the reason that I'll help someone, but to see it come back to you is really nice.
Finally, my favorite question. What would you tell yourself on day one of starting out 14 years ago?
You don't know what's ahead of you. It's going to be fun. And it really has been. That's for sure. It's been so amazing. And like I keep saying, I really am so grateful.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Blima. Congratulations on the growth starting out in 2011, interior design and architecture for both residential and commercial. You and your business partner starting now over 30 team members. That's terrific growth, helping businesses and homeowners in Northern America.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me. It's been great chatting, and we'll have to get our seasons to be at the same spot. So we're both not coughing at the same time.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Please leave a review in iTunes or whatever platform you listen to us on. It means more small business owners will find our cast and help people with their business growth journey.